Hey everybody, this is Brandon Allen. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Brandon Minute. So you may be wondering why we call it the Brandon Minute, because my name's Brandon and I'm not very original, and so thus the Brandon Minute was born. But listen, I wanted to do more video, wanted to communicate more frequently. I know video is a really good medium for that. And so, I'm just going to share ideas from time to time of things and thoughts that just come up that I think will be helpful for you, not only in business, but in life. And so I was talking with my speaking coach, kind of my comedy coach, Marcus Hardy, who's of the world famous Marcus and Guy show. And we were just talking about and preparing for a workshop that I've got coming up on May 1st and 2nd. And so we were talking about just what do people need to hear right now? What's the hopeful thing that needs to be said or done to really help people during times of uncertainty, right? And so we talked about one of the things I shared with him as we were preparing for kind of an introduction to my workshop is just the lessons that I learned in 08 and 09. And many of you can remember how 08, 09 was, 2010. Those were some pretty lean years. And I remember how I lost my job in 2008. So I'm telling you this because I know a lot of people are going through this kind of thing right now. I lost my job in 2008. I had to go home during the holiday season. I had to tell my family, hey, Dad doesn't have a job. What I did from there was I used that as an opportunity to start a business and start doing some things differently in the way that I created value and got paid for it. And I was fortunate enough to have that pay off, and we've been doing that now for the past 12 years. But what also happened was it allowed me to really understand the lesson in that situation. And one of the things about prosperity is a horrible teacher. When things are going really well, we just think that whatever we're doing is never going to fail, it's always going to work, and that we can never be touched. When crisis happens, we recognize that, man, we're not as untouchable as we think we are. Things can go wrong, and it also exposes where our thought processes may be wrong and where our preparation is inadequate. And so in that moment, I realized in 08 and 09 how inadequate my preparation was. At the same time, it also illuminated some things about my belief system and how I was showing up that were not very flattering. And if I'm being honest with you, it illuminated the fact that, number one, I was being a very greedy person. I made decisions and moved forward with career decisions really in a way that was very greed focused. And that was a real product of my ego. And I really saw where my ego was getting in the way of me making better decisions, not only for myself and for others, but for my family as well. And so this was it's not only hard to go through a time where you lose your job, but it's also really difficult at that same time to realize what an egotistical person you've been and what a greedy person you've been, and how that situation created the outcome that I was faced with in that. And I think as leaders, we can look for times always where we are the cause in the matter, right? So there are times where we may be legitimately victimized and things that happen to us that we didn't plan for, we didn't want, but how we respond to that and what we recognize our role in that at times can be a very powerful lesson to help us prepare and plan for the future. So think about maybe what is the lesson here, right? And I don't want to be trite about that. I know people are hurting. I know things are hard. I know things are difficult. So it's okay that things are hard. It's okay to say that things suck. But what is the lesson that this situation can teach you so that you can regroup and come out on the other side of this an even better version of who you were created to be? Thank you, guys.